Hello, dear grade 8 students again, and I hope everyone is safe and doing well. We finished reading the story Flowers for Algernon, and we knew that Charlie or Charles Gordon at the beginning of the story had a very low IQ and limited intelligence. So he had a surgery to triple his IQ and increase his intelligence. It worked, the surgery worked because Charlie, after the surgery, gained many sciences, learned many languages, and at the same time with the mouse called Algernon. And during the story, Charlie was watching Algernon, but after Algernon died, Charlie felt bad and started deteriorating, and he forgot the languages he learned and the sciences he learned, and even the simple words, the spelling of simple words and punctuation. And at the end of the story, Charlie left to New York because he wanted to go to a place that no one knows that he was once a genius. And everything he wanted, he asked them, Dr. Nemer, Miskinian, and others, to put flowers on Algernon's grave in the backyard. And now we are going to analyze the text activities. Page 380. Question number 1, compare and contrast. In what sense is Charlie the same at the end of the story as he is at the beginning? And in what sense is he different? You can say that by the end of the story, Charlie has lost much of the intelligence he gained through the experiment, and he is returning to the level of intelligence he had at the beginning. This is how he's similar. How is he different? You can say he's different because he has had the experience of being extremely intelligent. Number 2 now, analyze how does Charlie's diary reveal his changing mental state. His diary shows how his mental and emotional capabilities are changing. First, they get stronger, and then he relapses to his formal mental state. Relapses means deteriorates. Number 3, draw conclusions. Review the journal entry for July 28th. What has Charlie gained through his experience? We can say that through his experience, he has gained a better understanding of himself and the people around him. Number 4, analyze in what ways does Charlie's operation affect his relationships with the people around him. We can say that Charlie's relationships became more complicated. Number 5, how to connect to the essential question. In what different ways can people be intelligent? What have you learned about the human intelligence from reading this story? We can say that the human brain can impact the way that people understand the world and communicate with people around them. And now analyze craft and structure, page 381. We know that the theme is the theme of any literary work or a story is the central message about life that conveys. And sometimes in some stories the author expresses the theme directly. In other ways the reader can figure out the theme and the other elements of the story. And themes differ according to the point of view. And you know that the point of view or perspective from which the story is told. And it can give clues to the theme. In the first person point of view, the narrator is a participant. We know that Charlie was the main character in the story. So he's a participant in the story. In the third person um, point of view, we can say that the narrator is not part of the story's events, such as the narrator uses only third person pronouns. We know that the third person pronouns can be she, he, or they. And now we are supposed to solve practice page 381. We have 5 questions here. Number 1, who is the narrator of the story? We know that Charlie tells the story through his journal entries. What point of view does this narrator use? We can say it's a simple point of view or naive point of view. Number 2, at the beginning of the story, what does Charlie know and not know about himself and others? We know that at the beginning of the story, Charlie does not know why the scientists are interested in him. And how does his understanding change at the or as the story progresses? We can say that he begins to see and understand the way others treated him, and he begins to understand that some people make fun of him. Number 3, cite specific ways in which the narrative point of view affects what readers learn about all characters, especially their feelings and thoughts, and explain this. We can say that Charlie can only describe what he understands. For example, he says that they have fun at the factory, but he later understood that they were making fun of him or they were mocking him. Number 4, is Charlie's life better or worse at the end of the story than it was at the beginning? It's an opinion question because it depends on what you understood from the story. But let's remember that Charlie said that at least he was happy because he gave something to the science, or he gave something or did something for dumb people like him. What possible theme is suggested by Charlie's experience? We can say that he suggested that science should not interfere with human intelligence, but you can say that sometimes science is important even in such cases. And now page 382, the concept vocabulary. We have 6 words that appeared in the story. First, subconscious, which is an adjective that means anything connected with feelings that influences your behavior even though you are not aware of. And we have despised, which is adjective as well. It means disrespected or disliked. And then we have introspective, which is an adjective, the case of thinking a lot about your own thoughts or feelings. Suspicion, which is a noun, it means a feeling that somebody has done something wrong, illegal or dishonest. And then deterioration, which is a noun, the fact or process of becoming worse. And the last word, regression, which is a noun, it means the process of going back to an earlier state. And why these words? Because the concept vocabulary words, they all related to the emotional and psychological state of Charlie, because he experienced a range of these states. And now the questions 1 and 2. Number 1, how does the concept vocabulary sharpen the reader's understanding of the experiment Charlie undergoes? we can answer that the concept vocabulary allows the reader to understand what Charlie went through. And number two, what other words in the story connect to Charlie's experience? We have many. We can say ink blot, the Rorschach, laboratory, IQ, intelligence, genius, and more. And now the practice. We have two questions here. The first question I want you to submit on through the comments on this video. So again, number one is homework. You need to submit through as a comment. Number two, with a partner, see if you can match each concept word to a related word in the same word family. We can say that for subconscious, we have subconsciously. For despised, we have despicable. For introspective, we can say introspectively. For suspicion, suspicious. Deterioration, deteriorate as a verb. Regression, we have regress. And now this prefix sub, which is a Latin prefix that means under or beneath. And we have many examples like subordinate, we have submarine, and other words. The questions 1 and 2. Number 1, which would you expect to be a more important part of an outline, a topic, or a subtopic, and why? We can answer that a topic would be more important because a subtopic would be or would come under a topic. And number 2, how does the definition of sub help you determine where you might find a submarine? We know that marine is related to sea or water, so the sub means under, so it helps to explain that a submarine travels under the water.